Why am I so fucking red? Check these out. I bought these the other day. Oreo Dip and Go. If you love Oreo, you're gonna love these because they're Oreo. So you got like they're like the these little dudes, like the little like pretzel things with a cheese dip. It's like that, but it's Oreo, so it's like 10 times better. So you get like the little Oreo crackers, and you got like the pure fat right here, and you can just scoop that up and I'm so unhealthy. So why are we here today? That's a good question. So there's also a different angle. Usually I would have it like this, I think, when I do the off-road videos. But I'll have it like this. I feel like that's a bit better. Like you're looking right at me. You don't have to turn. You don't have to get that profile. I have a really shitty profile, in case you haven't noticed. Oh, I also got these. They're Dunkin' Donuts vanilla latte Pop-Tarts. They taste a lot better than they sound, I promise. They're just like really sweet, so they're kind of hard to eat. I've already eaten half the thing. I'd say in the last week I've knocked off a good 5 years of my life. Right. So here we have an example. I kind of want to show you of what's going on. So this was all recorded a little bit more than a week ago, part 1 and part 2. Katana man. But I wanted to discuss how I come up with my prices and how I go, like how I just like out of my head and like knock video cards down, like make a 680, a 1050, and all those things. This is completely unscripted. It really should be, but I decided, hey, I want to make a video. Our first stop of the day is talking about the video cards and how I knock them down in worth and value. So if you look up GPU hierarchy, you get taken to Tom's Hardware, and this is the main thing that I use to decide how fast graphics cards are generally. Now there is a little bit of wiggle room, but it takes you from top to bottom. We have 3 little tabs right here. We got an NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, GeForce, Radeon, and whatever the hell Intel. And it brings you, and it takes you, and it brings you a look down. This is the top, and this is the bottom, with the Rage 128 right here, and the NVIDIA TN. So we're gonna go up 2 rounds, a bit more modern stuff, right at the bottom of the modern stuff. And I was gonna put up prices and stuff too. I'll do that some other time. I'll do a different video on like finding the best value card. Don't take my idea. I will fucking lynch you. This is Intel integrated 530 graphics. I don't know for sure, but I'll go ahead and assume they're really close to 630 with the new Kaby Lake processors. This is what Skylake processors have in them, the 530, and that's on par with, it looks like, R7 250. That's a notable one, as well as GTS 450. So the Iris Pro 6200. These are only featured in 2 of Intel's processors on the desktop side. The i5 5775C or 5675C and i7 5775C. Those ones are overpriced. So right here, the 6200 is pretty much on par with the 360s. The 360 and 260 are pretty much the same. The HD 7770 is pretty much a 360 nowadays. And then NVIDIA's side, these are all really old, so nothing's really compared there. But okay, so when I talk about like a 680 and bring it down to a 650, here's where I get that. I'm a little bit off. I'm a lot bit off. This is kind of the method I use. There's like almost like a staircase thing that I feel like video card manufacturers do, where the next generation is like the whole thing is like a rung down. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but let me open up Excel real quick to show you what I mean. Now this isn't always correct, but a couple times recently it has been like perfectly correct. So I'm going to start over here just so we have room to add on if we need to. So I'm going to do, now Pascal is the biggest difference here, because the 1070 and 1080 are like way above. Now you could even add in other cards, like you can go like Titan and 980 Ti, but I'll go 980 Ti just to show you that, okay, I'll put 1070 right here, and then 1080, and I think, okay, yeah, and then 1060. But 1050 is more 960, and I'll generalize that as 1050 and 1050 Ti. So there is a little bit gap right here between the 970, or where the 970 area should be. Which 970 is a great card, but I mean, pretty much, I think a 1060 is closer to 980, but then again, you can overclock a 970 to be a 980, pretty much. So that's just generally what I use. So when I say a 660 is basically a 1050, that's why. Because a 660 is a 770, exactly. And then a 770 is pretty much a 960. The 480 is here, and then the 390, is that right? Yeah, that's, well, no, that's not right. Well, the 470 is a bit higher up than this. 470, actually 470 and 480 are actually kind of close, but this is where maybe 460 should go. I'm gonna mark the ones I have used just because it sounds interesting to do that real quick. So these are the cards that I've used through here. So there was the graphics cards. Those are done with. If you need me to touch up on those again, I will, or I can. Next, we're going to talk about other computer hardware. And for that, we're going to have to go to PC Part Picker. Okay, so can I put those over there, and I can click delete these dudes. Oh, and I gotta turn all these back to white. Oh, folk. I did not mean to ruin this. Okay. No fill. There we go. Okay. We're going to do processors first. I'm going to put up price marks right here. So, alright, so here's my Intel area. So right here, I'm going to put all the Intel processors based on generally their price. And this, I'm not going to do architecture. Like, this is newest stuff. And then as it gets older, it declines in price. So right here we have Celerons. And we got Pentiums. And this is generally, I don't need you saying, no, that's not the right price. I don't care. That's what I'm doing. This is my channel. That's i3 unlocked, i5, and then this is the i5 unlocked, i7 unlocked, and then i2. So right here, this shows you generally for this much money is what you'll get. So let's bring up PC Part Picker and kind of test this out. So the 770, here it is. There was 7700K, my bad, for $350. So we got the i7 7700K, and right here we have the i5 7600K, G4560. We got the i3 unlocked. Now this is closer to a 200 actually. I just kind of generalized 150 just because, but yeah. So this will work with every generation when it comes out. Most of the time. Like, this is new, like right here. So this will work every single time unless Intel changes things, because this worked through Skylake and it worked through Haswell, and to my knowledge it worked through Ivy Bridge and Sandy Bridge as well. So for the last few generations, this was how it worked. Whenever I see in like a build or a part list an i5, I say that's 200. When I see an unlocked i5, I say that's 250, as long as it's new. An AMD, I just call everything $100 or $50. That's pretty much how it works. So CPU coolers, I take the most common ones. Like, I know Hyper 212 Evo by heart. A bigger cooler, I'll say it's $30. Every time I see a single 120 rad, like this, that's 60 to 70 bucks. And every time I see dual 120 rads, then I will call that 100. If it's a cheaper cooler, I call it 20 bucks because here's a cheaper Cooler Master one, which is about 20. Let's see, here's a good example, that's about 100. That's how I do coolers. Next, motherboards. So here's the cheap boards, around 50 bucks. They're nothing special about them. And then once you start getting into like the later area, around $100, this is a very plain board. So this is where you'll start seeing more features. And this is where, yeah, H270. Let's see our first Z170. Is that around here? Or, yeah, here's a Z170 board for 90 bucks. So if you want to overclock, you can budget 100 minimum for a board when it comes to Intel for the Z170 chipset or Z270. Right, there's motherboards. And then you can usually guess 200 for like a really beefed out board. Memory. DDR3, DDR4 are slightly different when it comes to prices. Usually I'll call 8 gigabytes of DDR3 $40, and DDR4 I can say about $50. 4 gigabytes of DDR3 is about $20, and I don't know how much, about 25 to 30. So that'd be safe to say DDR3 16 gigs is about 80, and then about 100 for DDR4. I guess I'm doing this because I guess I just assumed I would start editing the prices in case this became too cumbersome for you all to take in. Don't worry about 32. We don't gotta worry about that. Storage. 1 terabyte hard drive and 1 20 gig SSD are the same price, and then 2 50 gig SSD, 2 terabyte hard drive the same price. As of right now, this is all subject to change, of course. What's next? Cases. Oh, geez, this is kind of rough because you can kind of look at a really cheap case and assume that's $20 to $40, and then above that, it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere. The sky is the limit when it comes to case prices. Power supplies. RIP. Okay. I'm not even gonna talk about anything below 80 plus. EVGA 430 watt to 500 watt power supply, usually 80 plus to 80 plus bronze right here. Yeah, they're about $40, 30 to 40 bucks right here. Wattage wise, you can get a 600 watt power supply right now. I don't know if it's just changed to that. Okay, no, it's been there for a while. It's been at 40 bucks since October apparently. So there you go. You can get a 600 watt power supply. I know it's only 80 plus, but you're fine. You're perfectly fine. You don't gotta worry about that. Special announcement. I have a computer build coming. I just ordered a couple graphics cards. My very first build of the year. I'm really excited for it, and I hope you enjoy it. I don't have the stuff yet, but I can probably receive everything in like the next week. So I'm not going to talk about it. I just want to let you know that there is a build coming. I like doing builds because they equal lots of views. 200 likes on this video by next Friday, and I will change the channel name to MaxMofo Tech for good. To keep the meme going. What if we stir up enough attention for him to be like, who the fuck is this cunt?